And the world was shocked on Friday when the news that an apparently disturbed young man entered Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, with several weapons and went on a killing rampage. By the time he shot himself dead, 28 people were also dead, 20 of them little children. In China, just a few hours earlier, another elementary school came under attack. This time the man, reportedly mentally ill, was armed with a knife. For 30 minutes or so, he stabbed and slashed, wounding 22 students in the central province of Henan, but fortunately not managing to kill any of them. He was disarmed and detained by police. Both China and the US have witnessed several violent attacks against children in schools over the past years, although the fact that guns are harder to get in China has meant that the death toll has been lower. What lessons do net users feel can be learned from these incidents for authorities and schools in both countries? And given the very different outcomes of these assaults, what are the views amongst China's online community towards gun control? Well, to get an idea, let's head over to the newsroom now and our researcher, Julia Liu. Okay, Julia, tragedies in both countries, although, as I mentioned, with rather different outcomes. How have Chinese net users been reacting to these two incidents?
Well, first of all, a lot of net users note that these two attacks, while coincidentally so close together, show school children can face horrible danger regardless of the system or condition of the country. Well, this first post comes from Sina.com.cn. Ensuring peace in schools and protecting the safety of youngsters is not an issue only Americans need to think about. The whole world needs to take this seriously. This poster, Catherine Duan, agrees. Any country that can't ensure the security of its children needs to look at itself very closely. And Chen Lian Laobing on Weibo.com points out another similarity. Police involved in both cases claim the suspect was mentally disturbed and looking for a way to vent his anger. However, I think the bottom of the problem here lies in education, especially moral education based on humanity and human values. And Yang Xia, who's a psychologist, also mentions education, saying, the shooter in Connecticut had divorced parents and his mother was quite strict with him. Parents should be neither too strict nor too lax. The wrong kind of education may be the cause of our behavioral problems in children. And in terms of the Henan attack, Tang on 10086.cn blames the schools for lack of security. Where were the security guards in the school when the attacker broke in? Wasn't there someone on guard at the school gate? Just furnish. And Lei Dianzi on iPhone.com also faults security awareness. School security needs great improvement. Security guards in schools just take their salary without fulfilling their duties. And there are also several questions about the treatment of mental patients in China. Here's one typical example. What sort of safeguards and checks did the relevant departments in this country have in place regarding several mentally ill patients? The killer had a history of mental illness going back 20 years.
Now, Julia, as we mentioned, two very different outcomes in these two attacks, almost certainly due to the different weapons involved. The Connecticut massacre has once again opened up the gun control debate in the US. Is that also the case here online in China? Are people talking about that?
Oh yes, sure. There's plenty of debate in the online community and opinions on both sides. Zhang Xin, a supporter of gun control, says on Weibo.com. The gun the killer used was bought legally. Chinese parents who have children studying in the US must be terrified. Can't the politicians ban the sales of guns? There are always psychos hidden in the crowd, and we can't let them have guns. And 评论员杨宇 has a warning for the gun lobby, saying,